Hey guys, another quiet day in Berlin. Well, first of all, the weather wasn't that good, and it's a combination of people going home for Christmas and then the lockdown, so not much going on. But I used the day to clean up a little bit, as I talked about, 2 days ago. And I came along one of my most cherished possessions. So one of the things, if the house would be on fire, this would be one of the things I would grab. This is probably my most cherished possession, and it's not really it is as old as it looks. It's not really about the thing, obviously, because what connects us to things is more memories, at least for me. And I got this from my grandparents when I was 20, what was 4 weeks ago, and. It has been with me ever since. This is a book, obviously, and it's quite old. I hope you can read the year. It's down here somewhere. It's from 1703, so that would make it 317 years old. And another interesting thing about this book is that it is the book of virtues, or the book obviously is in German. It's about teaching virtues, basically, and it's also written in letters that that are hard to read nowadays because it's old German. My grandfather taught me how to read it, but a lot of people nowadays can't read it anymore. It's still interesting to me that 317 years ago, somebody sat down, wrote a book about how to teach virtues. This is something you don't hear much about nowadays. So back in the days, and again, it's also connected to religion, but it was really important for people to have virtues. That reminds me of a story that I heard like many, many years ago. There was this guy, Gary Null. He had a show on WBAI in New York. It's kind of a little bit crazy, but he was ahead of his times. That was for sure, because he had this show in the 90s, at the end of the 90s, called Natural Healing. And he was talking about being vegetarian, being a vegan. So there's a long time before, hipsters caught up to the story. And he was telling that story that he went to a party in New York, and he went with a friend that nobody knew. So he told half of his friends that this was a really good-hearted woman. She would work with children, and she did so much for the community. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. And he told the other half of his friends that she was super rich. She inherited a lot of money. She has money to burn. She doesn't even know what to do with her money. And guess which person people were more interested to talk to? Obviously, the woman with money. Because virtues don't really count much in our modern life, I would say. It's not about what person you are. It is really about how much money you make. And that's probably even more true so for New York. I remember when I came to Berlin, I talked to this guy at the local coffee place, and he said, look, nobody is interested in money here. But that has changed too. In 7 years, this has changed quite a bit. Rents go up, and then what do? You have to make ends meet. But since I talked to Richard yesterday about a new reality, a new way of life emerging, maybe that's something we should consider again. And I really believe that this also will change, that people will not only judge by what apartment, what car they have, because that's part of the insanity we lived before, that people will more focus on, what kind of person is somebody, and judge them by, their actions. So that just came up today when I had this book in my hands again, thinking about who talks about virtues. I mean, nobody really does, or do you hear something on Instagram? Oh, he has great virtues, and nobody cares. I mean, I think to me, even more so in America, that people with money were just able to do anything they wanted to. I work for people with a lot of money, and I always wondered, what would happen to them in Europe. I think Europe is a little different in that sense still. Maybe it has changed now as well. But in America, with money, you could do anything. And people would also excuse a lot of things they wouldn't when you don't have money. So, just food for thought. Is it important to have good virtues? Or does it not matter at all? That might be the other option. And maybe it doesn't. I'm not, like this vlog is not about coming with a fixed mind, having a certain opinion. It's just giving food for thought. So if we are about to enter a new way of living, maybe this is something we can focus on again. And again, I don't want to come up with any fixed ideas here, but as we are traveling in the unknown right now, as long as, of course, it's true that now things really shift in a different direction, what I still believe, maybe it's a good thing to think about things like virtues. What does make me a better person? How can I be of help to others? I mean, these are all good virtues. How can I not lie? How can I be honest to, first of all, myself and to others? All really important points, because ultimately we can't take with us what we've accomplished here in a material sense. Nobody ever took anything to the other side that he created here, or the money he earned. We have to leave all this stuff behind, and maybe maybe we can take what we've learned on a spiritual level, or like virtues, or what kind of person we were when we basically left this level of existence. Now, we don't have an answer to that. Maybe there is no life after death, but maybe there is. And there is a possibility that what you've learned here as a person, if you've developed your person, and we'll talk more about the person and how real this is in this vlog, but whatever we learned on the inside, maybe we can take this to wherever we go after this experience here. So that we don't know, but we definitely know we can't take money, fame, all the stuff that the old world was about with us to the next level. Anyway, just food for thought. Thanks for being here. I see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.